But when I really realized the impact I could have, it goes back to an event almost 11 years ago. I realized I wasn't just a kid magician. Remember the word justa? You know, how can I create impact? I'm just this. And if you ever hear someone say, I'm just do me a favor, slap them. Ground rules probably apply in the workplace with that. So don't. But never settle for being a justa, and here's why I share that. I was asked to go to Children's Hospital and meet a child named Nathan. And Nathan's goal was to meet David Copperfield. That was his wish. And I was informed, it probably won't happen. Nathan's not going to have time to do it. Would you come to the hospital room and do some tricks for Nathan? And that's way out of my comfort zone. I'm not good with the shots, the needles, the hospitals, the doctors. That's just not my cup of tea. But at the same time, how do you say no to that? So I did. I got my stuff, and I went off to the hospital. I was nervous. I was sweating. I'm going the door. And I walked in, and there was this boy, Nathan. He has a big smile on his face. He was in the bed, and there's probably 4 or 5 immediate family members there, and there's also a priest there as well. And Nathan couldn't really talk with me. He had respirators and everything set up, but he had these eyes that I will never forget. Because they said, well, Jon is here, and Jon's a magician. He goes, and it was awesome. And I only did a few tricks. I did this little one where there's little red sponge balls and it disappears in his hand and comes in my hand, and he would light up. Another trick I did is a card trick where I need to have someone pick a card, of course, and then I need to borrow a credit card. You know whose credit card I borrowed? I borrowed the priest's credit card. And the whole bit is basically, I take my credit card that has a photo, it's one of those security photos, and I take his credit card and we put him over here. He selects a card, and the quick end of the story is his card vanishes from the deck. It's gone. And then I pick up my credit card, and the photo is gone. And on the back of the priest's credit card is a photo of me holding his card going, And the last one I did is a simple card trick. Nathan picks a card and he writes his name on it. It was the 7 of Hearts. And he puts the 7 of Hearts in the middle of the deck, and it pops up to the top. We shuffle him up. He puts it on the bottom, and it pops up to the top. It's got his name on it. He puts it under his drink, snaps his finger, and it's still, no matter what he does, Nathan's card is on top of the deck. And the final part is, I wrap it in a rubber band, and we throw it to the ceiling, and all the cards come tumbling down everywhere except one card. And above the bed is Nathan's 7 of Hearts staring, looking down at him. And they were laughing. Everyone was having a good time. And I thanked them, and they thanked me, and I laughed. And it wasn't until about 5 months later, at church with my wife, we're at Mass, and it was a guest priest speaking. And it was that priest. And I told my wife, I said, hey, that's the guy I met in the hospital. And she said, you should go talk to him. I'm like, okay. But I did. I walked up and I was like, hi, my name's Jon. You probably don't remember me. I was in the room with Nathan and his family, and I did some magic tricks. And he did one of those where he just grabs me by the shoulders. And he stared at me for a second, almost to the point of, and he pulls out his wallet, pulls out his credit card, and the back of his credit card was my photo. He's like, you have no idea the amount of people I've shared that story with. He said, that was the first time that family had laughed in a month. You made such a difference in Nathan, in the family, that it helped them for the next day. And he did share, Nathan passed the next morning. And Nathan wanted the 7 of Hearts in his casket. And that's where I lost it. I was just a kid magician scared to death to go to the hospital. And man, I changed a family's life, even if it was just for a few hours, for a few days. But what do you do with that? I'm just a... And you have no idea where someone is in their point in their life. Maybe they've had a bad day, they've had a good... that extra greeting, that extra little bit of effort to create the experience, to see the bigger picture, to create the impact, that showtime moment. My wife and I, we started a show called Miracles and Magic because of that. Now we do show for kids from the hospital, and we've raised well over $1 million from doing a fun show in Columbus for kids from Children's Hospital because of that incident and that story. Did I think about it, or did I get out and I do something about it? But that's nothing that someone here can't do. It's just an extra degree of effort. Having some passion in who you are, be willing to think and do something differently.